Still better?
Closest living relative.
Yeah.
We are.
Asked her, I said,
Line.
did you get that check out?
I'm gonna call this
No,
caucus
I said,
meeting to order.
God.
I'll be looking for a motion. I'll be looking for a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the first regular meeting dated Wednesday, June 14th, 2023, as accepted prepared by the clerk. Communication, there's 3 pieces. Questions or comments on communications? None. Mayor's report. Mayor Newland.
I'm gonna give my report on to you. So I have a couple things on here, it's a little longer than normal because I haven't had a report to give recently. ODOT grant. The Ohio Governor Mike DeWine and Ohio Department of Transportation announced last week that ODOT will invest $51 million into new traffic safety improvement projects to specifically address an increase in pedestrian-involved traffic crashes and fatal roadway departures on state and local roads. And the city has received a grant of $1 million for our bridge safety study that our city engineer team, environmental design group put together. We are very excited to bring these monies to our city. Struthers was the only city in Mahoning, Trumbull, or Columbiana County to receive monies from this allocation. Just to add to that, we are hoping to increase that number as well because when they allocated the grant monies to us, one of the traffic lights was not included because this,
We didn't have a traffic count.
the traffic count on that. So we're hoping that once we turn that in, that will go up to 1.3. We're hoping, not guaranteeing, but that's coming down the pipe.
That also increases our engineering fee as well.
But Bob has been working on this for the last week. We found other ways where we can match the engineering fee with OPWC money and different state monies. We can't match with any federal grant, but we can with different monies. He's been working on this for a week. So we're trying to bring that
That's not complete.
down too. But it's over the course of the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So we should be able to just set that aside. Okay,
This
so
is just what Chrissy.
Vector truck funding from Mahoning County Commissioners. Last week, we received notice that the Mahoning County Commissioners are funding the total payment for the city's wastewater department up to $475,000. We greatly appreciate the continued support from Commissioners Carol Remedio-Rigetti, David Ditzer, and Anthony Trafficani. So they are paying for the entire truck. So this was something, I know I explained this, we had the meeting back in August because we were looking everywhere for this and they actually agreed to do the whole entire amount.
That's a
Then that's the
When
case,
should we
yes.
bring
That's
something
great.
to this?
Yeah.
American Blue. Last week we spent 2 days with our American Blue
But this is
advisors,
just-
Ed
it's
Hooker
just
and
for
Kirk
donations
Brown,
off the
touring them around the city.
It's
We
not
would like to
just
thank Jenna
fees.
Kuntz, Veronica Cardello, and Roberta Hiller for applying for and receiving a Smart Growth Grant to be able to join this national program which promotes, recognizes, and celebrates community enhancement programs across the U.S. So they work with YCAR, Youngstown Columbiana Association of Realtors, and with the Ohio Realtors and applied for this grant and got it on behalf of the city. So they paid for our year membership to this. So we should be receiving a report. They have a national convention in September, so we should have that report by then. And we'll be sharing that with everybody too. Jim Weasel Vespasian Memorial Run. The annual memorial run in honor of Jim Weasel Vespasian will be held on Sunday, July 16th at St. Anthony's. It's $20 per bike and sign up starts at 10 a.m. rain or shine. Christ Our Savior Parish Family Summerfest on July 7th and July 8th from 5 to 9. The church will be holding their annual Summerfest at the Great Hall. Sailor Restaurant received national grant. Congratulations to Sailor Restaurant for being one of the few Ohio businesses to receive a $5,000 Backing Small Businesses grant through Main Street America. Brady's Canine Fund. We would like to thank Brady's Canine Fund for their donation of a bulletproof vest for Canine Officer Recon. Please visit their website for more information on their program. Officer Dalton Moore, he spoke with this company and had this all worked out and got a straight donation for the vest for our canine recon. So we were happy about that. I don't know if there was much paperwork involved, but it's a very expensive vest that we were able to get for free. Teddy Folt's 9th Annual Memorial Polka Run. Our thoughts and prayers are with the individuals injured in the annual polka run this past weekend. The Moab House Car Show. On Sunday, July 15th, the Moab House will be holding their annual car show and street fair in the Struthers High School parking lot. Car registration will be at 10 a.m. The show begins at 11 and ends at 4 after the award presentation. They held this last year and it was a huge success. There were a ton of people there. It was very well organized, everything was cleaned up and ready to go when it was done, but they run a really nice program there. The second annual tree photography contest, the Struthers Tree Board held their second annual photo contest. The winners are Adele Lyons and Tanya Grace. They have both won a tree planted in their name and a 1-year membership to Arbor Day Foundation. We also dedicated a 3rd generation tree, which is a grandchild black walnut descended from George Washington, given to the city by Jonathan Brewer. And that is enclosed in a fence at Moffy. You pull into the parking lot to the area where the volleyball net used to be. And that is all I have. And that was a lot.
Questions or comments for Mayor? If none, report of standing committees. Jim? Yeah.
Well, let's see, when are we going to read
September
these?
6th.
September 6th. Financial legislation for Wednesday, September 6th at 6 o'clock.
Six. Any other committees? Okay. Legislation, there's 3 pieces. Questions or comments on legislation on the agenda tonight? None? New business. Megan just gave me a list that Chrissy forwarded to me. It's not complete yet, but there was several businesses and people that donated towards the new fire station. And do you want to do a resolution honoring these people that donated, or?
I think we should do
Okay.
something like that.
We'll probably have to do it in September once.
Yeah, right.
You know, but you just want to do a resolution honoring these people,
Sure. Mhm. I think that'd be a great idea.
right? Once it's completed and we get into September, we'll probably bring it out September 6th at the committee meeting and then vote on it on the 14th. You good with that?
Yep.
Mike, I'm not sure if, so, no, because I think she's depositing it into activities. I'm pretty sure she.
Yeah.
Never mind. With the checks that we have, I think we were putting it into activities, but she's having it allocated so that way they know what they can spend. Going forward, we will have the checks just made out to the association so they can spend whatever they want, but we had a few checks, so I don't know
Okay.
how, but I'm pretty sure she said that they could deposit into activities
Okay.
as long as we keep track of
There's
what was spent.
There's a few other people that donated, and you gotta give us time to complete this list, and maybe because we don't want no one getting left out and feel slated.
Well, and when we do the open house and the
We
ribbon
can
cutting,
read it.
we are going to be inviting them to the
Absolutely.
ribbon cutting
Okay.
part of that as well. So we have a lot of names to add
Okay, so
for
we're
the
good with that?
in-kind donations.
Yep.
Any other new business? Go ahead.
I have something just small, I just wanted to make council aware, but we have property across from the Struthers Presbyterian Church that we've had for a couple years now. We've talked to neighbors, I know I talked to Mike, we've talked to the neighbors next door, the neighbors behind, we've spoke with the church, and there have been some things that have been brought to us to make it parking for the church or to add it onto the parcels for the neighbors that are already there. We were also approached by Josh Shields to put a building there and move his business there to keep his business in Struthers. He's looking to expand and build. We don't think a parking lot or adding on right now is the best deal. If we can market that land as a business, that is what our ultimate goal would be. I asked him to be here today, so if you have any questions, we're not at that point yet. I just wanted to let you guys know that's what we've been talking to John Zamoyda about. One of the things, because it's in the land bank, is that we had to get the land appraised, which we have done that with Frank Clinton, so it came back at $15,000. So there's other options that we may look at, but I just wanted you guys to be aware if anybody brings anything up or talks about it, that our intentions right now are to work with Josh and figure out how to do this. But as far as that goes too, we will always be making sure we're doing it the correct way with John's advice going forward, because we don't want to mess anything up here or screw anything up. But as far as we're concerned, a business going there is,
Absolutely.
That's a great thing.
yes,
Is the
Absolutely.
utilities hooked up there?
Yep.
It's available to them?
yeah, everything's there.
Water,
So,
sewer, good.
so it is in the city of Struthers land bank, so as long as we follow the steps properly, that is our intention, is to do that. We haven't talked to anybody else about it, nobody else has really brought anything that we felt substantial, any businesses or anything like that to the table, and what better way can we have somebody who lives in the city, works in the city, wants to expand his business, wants to build and invest a lot of money there. Not only that, but the parking area that he would have for his business, he's also gonna be working with the church, so the church can use that parking for when they have services and stuff. So it's kind of helping the neighbors and killing two birds with one stone as well.
You know, I extended my hand to the Presbyterian Church to use my parking lot if they had a big event and they needed parking. So it's not like they're not having different opportunities
Yeah.
to have extra parking. It's just, I talked to Bob Milligan, I talked to the minister there, and a couple other parishioners, that if they needed to extra parking, they're more than welcome to use my
Yeah.
property here.
And Mike, that's really what we all want. We want that
Right.
community feel where we can rely on different business places or residents or in that area, especially with the church being there.
Absolutely.
We want to make sure everybody's on the same page and everybody's getting along, and we're not going to put some random business there that's going to argue with the church that's not what we want. And we feel like this would be a perfect fit. And I asked Josh to come today. We're going through everything, making sure we're doing everything the right way with John. But we wanted, if you guys have any questions, he can answer them. If you want him to explain what he's putting there or anything like that.
Where exactly is that across from?
Where
the
we
railroad
Yeah.
hall.
Where we
Yeah,
knocked the
Yeah.
building down.
Where that big building you
Yes.
knocked down, where I used to take kickboxing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
Sweating like a pig up there.
The KFP.
So
Yes, King of
Yeah.
Prussia, yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So it'd be just mean that it'd be like a garage to store all of your.
Metro used
Right.
Not just the garage,
Not-
no.
Okay.
I'm looking to do, have you ever heard of a barn dominium? I'm looking to do something in that style.
Okay.
I don't want to do just a big building that is bland and boring.
Like Mike's? No, I'm joking.
Not necessarily like
Let's not listen to Mike.
something in these styles, not necessarily that exact.
Okay.
Actually have a very nice veneer stone on the bottom, multiple base for my trucks, a office / livable space, whether it's an actual livable space where I have an apartment or something where I have a kitchen for me and my guys in the wintertime if we're working in the building doing shop work, locker room for guys, bathrooms, actually having something more than just a small garage.
Okay, so just for yourself, not to like ever rent out and things like that.
No.
Okay.
No, if it was ever gonna be livable, it'd be me moving in there. at some
Okay.
point.
And the designs
The
he was
lot's big
showing
enough
us
for
too.
something like this?
Lot's about 11,000 square foot. So like I said, I'm not necessarily
Yeah,
looking
right.
at, how many bedrooms or any of that,
Yeah.
or the sizes, cause some of these
Mostly
are,
concerned with this here.
I'm looking at whatever I'm allowed to build, if it's 60 by 60, 50 by 50, working with something like that, then getting plans and going forward from there.
Good,
I don't wanna spend a couple thousand on plans and then we can't do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also something like this, it would fit in because there are residences around there. So it would
Yeah.
mesh well with it being a business, looking like it fits there and it's not just something thrown together. So that would mesh well with
Jimmy.
the neighboring houses.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And like I said, I just wanna, I'm gonna
Good job.
work on
Thank you.
bringing
We
this
appreciate
ahead of
this.
time, and this is one of the ones where we said, let's just
What are your
ask them
thoughts
to
on
come
the
in and
appraisal of the land?
That's fine.
We're okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys wanted to sell it for less, that's fine too. I'm not gonna complain.
What was the
How does
question
that
about?
work?
It'd be nice to give a break.
We get a we have to have a fair market value. We got an appraiser, we had Frank Clinton come out and give us the appraisal for us, and that's what he came back with.
So there's a parking lot for the church over there, isn't there?
On the corner there,
On
yeah.
the
Will that extend like, or
No, there's a
There's
house, a blue house in between
there's a
where
house right there?
my property would be and the church parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all for it. So-
Yeah, that would fit nice there.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That'd
I
be
don't
great.
think you get any opposition from us.
No.
No.
And like I said, I know I keep saying, but we're gonna do everything, this is really our first, because it's a mixed-use land. This is really the first, like, I
How's the
would say
zoning
commercial,
situation for that?
it's zoned mixed use.
It is?
Yes.
Okay,
What is
so
it?
that's good.
Zone?
Well, all those
Mixed
storage
use.
places are
Mixed
there,
use.
right?
Yeah.
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 Aren't those storage places there too?
Right down from there, yes.
Yeah.
But completely off, different subject. At some point, we do have to look at our zoning map. It needs to be updated. It's,
That's another.
that was
town,
one of the
isn't
other
it?
things that came out of our comprehensive plan and everything else. That, you know, we're not zoned for expansion in our city, you know, like especially downtown area. We need to change some of our, well, next year, council,
Yeah.
we'll probably be looking at coming to you with some kind of zoning.
Ours is so outdated, in one of the ordinances, it still talks about servant quarters and how big they have, like, that's how old some of them are. So it might be something where we have to look at hiring a company to come in and
Rewrite it,
ground up,
bring it up to modern times.
Anything else with Los Galos to down there? or-
No, we have a proposal on the table, but we're waiting, we've had some discussion with the county from that CIC money, so we're waiting to hear back some details about that, but that's still there.
So no one is working on the building.
Now, we went in a couple months ago, we had a crew that went in for 2 hours and swept everything out, cleaned everything out, and really we had the street department take the sign down to make it look more appealing and not
And no budge on the plaza downtown,
the,
More
where the
dog
babe
movie
shop
on.
is and.
no, not that I know of. I know offers have been made. I don't know if the offers are still on the table, but I know the offers have been made. And I am not
Well, the
gonna
new, the
involve
newsstand
myself.
is owned by somebody different.
Glaros, yes.
Okay, and,
They're not doing anything with that.
It's up for sale right now.
but that's the only place that they own.
Yes. It's
Everything,
just that.
everything else is
Everything
owned,
else-
owned by the same person.
Junior,
Yes.
Okay.
And with the situation we're kind of in, we're not gonna
actively pursue
actively
it too,
pursue,
at this
yeah.
point. But it does bring up, something that was mentioned to us by, we told you all, America Bloom, people gave us a lot of information. One thing the realtors and American Bloom will be surprised is that we do not have legislation dealing with vacant properties. Houses and businesses.
This
That-
residential.
They feel like we might be the only city in the
But
United
we do
States
have-
that don't have
We do have,
vacant building ordinances.
we do have.
We
No.
don't have vacant buildings. If you, as long as you keep your grass cut and everything else, there, we don't do nothing.
Sure.
But if the building is vacant, when we have a house up on Geneva that's been vacant for years,
Edison.
and Edison, on Edison, neighbors complain about it all the time, but there's nothing more we can do about
That's
it.
the
What would
house
you, what do you think you
Mr.
should be
Bruno.
able to do?
I think we should have the vacant legislation,
You're
that
saying
you're not
you-
gonna occupy it,
you're
then
saying-
sell the house.
So you wanna force people to sell their asset
I'm-
because it's
I'm
not being
saying-
used?
I'm saying we're the only city in probably the only city in Ohio that doesn't have a vacant ordinance.
But I'm just asking you.
I don't know.
So you think we should be able to
At
force
this
people to
point-
sell property that they're taking care of and paying taxes on because they're not using it?
Yes,
Okay, I would 100% disagree.
yep, that's true. But I'm going to find legislation that I feel comfortable with from other cities, and I will probably bring it to you. You can vote for or against it any way you want, but I look
So
at
you wanna do it not only on commercial properties downtown, you also
and-
wanna do it
home-
on
and
homes?
private homes. Because too many times, these homes are getting where brother or sister have a dispute and nobody wants to take care of it and nobody wants to sell it. I won't sell it because I don't.
But you have
comply with
things
you
in, you have things in place if they're not taking care of it.
Well,
Yeah.
they cut grass and they keep the outside painted, but it's not a productive house. You know what I'm saying?
The taxes are paid on it,
Yes,
the grass is cut,
yes.
so you don't have any violations, you don't have any ordinances that they're currently violating.
Nope, I just have neighbors complaining about it.
So you wanna make more ordinances because we don't have, they're not really doing anything currently that's
Well,
wrong.
I wanna see what other cities are doing about it, because every other city has
What do you think about
vacant
businesses?
building ordinance.
I think, but they're both ridiculous.
Well, I mean,
But see,
downtown,
businesses, that's
I think
stagnating
businesses-
like that.
It's harming us from
So I
progressing
don't
forward.
understand, so that's what you think too, you think if somebody owns a
I'm not
business,
sure about a house, but I sure don't like looking at downtown the way it is, and we're allowing that to happen, and it's not
I don't
even
understand
kept, like kept
what we're
up.
allowing to happen.
The stagnation of an economic development, it's
Yes.
just status quo.
Yeah.
And there's nothing productive
There
going
should
on,
be
it hurts the
businesses
rest
in
of the
there,
businesses.
functioning businesses, not just,
So start one, Lori, what stopped you?
that's not my property. Right? I mean.
But no, I mean, you're not purchasing the
So
property.
we got a house that's gonna sit there vacant, and it's gonna, and they're gonna cut the grass, and they're gonna pay their taxes, and the house is just gonna continue to deteriorate inside, and deteriorate inside.
How do you know it's deteriorating inside? How do you know they're not taking
Because
care of it?
nobody's there.
So
When
what?
you don't use it, you lose it.
So what?
So, I mean, so.
You know, I mean,
Well,
We're
then-
not allowed to go inside and
That's
spend.
not-
That's the other, that's the
I
other
mean,
thing the
truly,
vacant
but that's
ordinance-
not-
And that's the other
that's
thing
not
the
your
vacant
business.
ordinance would allow us to do, to go inside and see if there's rats inside. To allow us to go inside and see if there's,
But you have no
I-
cause to
I-
do so if the
I
people are
think
taking care of it.
If the neighbors were complaining.
What are they complaining about?
But
Okay,
if
so
they
for
were
instance, by
complaining
me,
about
okay, I'm gonna
rats,
talk
then we have
Maplewood.
ordinances to
3
go
houses
We
inside.
under
can't
me,
go
there's
in,
a
no, we
house that's
don't.
been sitting there empty
Well, we
for
can
at
call
least
the,
20 years.
we can
The
call the
windows
health
are
department,
broken in, and there's
can
animals
Okay,
in and out of that
that's
house.
perfect. You just,
Right,
you
right,
answered,
right.
But I'm just saying.
you answered the question right there. The basement windows are broken in, there's rats in it.
And they've
There's
been cited-
ordinances about that stuff, so
they've
why
been
aren't they cited
500
and
times,
made
but
to
they've been
fix the
cited
windows?
A ton of times. The guy wants to sit on it and he thinks he's gonna sell it for $180,000
It's
in
his
5
property.
years.
He can think whatever he wants, as long as he's complying with our codes. So get the windows fixed.
Let me get the actual legislation, or, and then we'll debate it at that point.
We can see what other
But
places have.
other communities, every other community seems to have something dealing with vacant buildings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to listen, you know, I mean, you know,
But he has a valid
see what
point.
other
Yes.
people have, but.
The
And I'm
only
sure
people
this-
who make this argument,
And
Bob,
I'm sure
and
this
it
argument was
happens
made when
time
it was
and
passed
time
in every other
again.
community.
The only people who make these laws are people who own nothing. Not people who actually get off their ass and purchase and own assets. They don't make those laws. Only people who want what you have, want what somebody else has. The city should be able, if the property's being taken care of, why should you have the right to go in? You don't have the right to go in.
Get the ordinance, Bob, get something for
Yeah,
council to
that's
look
fact.
at.
When you come back,
It's
I'm
law, I
gonna-
mean,
I'm going to have.
I take care of my
Yeah.
property. If you wanna come in, you can get a warrant.
You
What
don't wanna
basis do you have to get a
that's up
warrant?
to you.
I
Zero.
agree with you.
I agree.
All right, guys, get your information together, Bob, bring it to us and we'll look at it and. go
I'm just
from there.
saying, when we had the visitors come in, that was one of the things they were very surprised that we did not have any ordinance dealing with that.
Okay.
I get, my thing is, the ordinances that we have, she just said, there's broken windows. Why aren't they cited for that?
This would be an ordinance dealing with properties that are unproductive, that are not in violation or property code.
But if they're paying all their taxes and taking care of it, who's to say they're unproductive if they're paying their taxes?
They're paying real estate tax, which we get nothing of,
You get a little bit of, let's not say nothing.
very little, yes.
Like
But-
15%,
but
15%,
with-
15 to 20%.
With a family in there, maybe we would benefit from maybe the income tax.
Yes.
That's about it.
You know, I mean, some people are sitting on stuff as an investment type thing, you know, looking for a
We're
change
not-
in the market,
we're
maybe
not-
making a little
Yeah,
bit more
but
money.
it's
This one-
only
this one deal
specific
with-
situations, like
this
we
one-
have a house on Hamilton that the neighbor said they know water is going in there, they know there's mold, this house is going to completely fall in and become decrepit eventually, and then when we have to demo it, we pay the bill, and we're gonna go after them for the money, and then we're out the money.
But here's
And then we lose a house, we lose taxpayers, we lose.
But listen, I've been against tearing down houses this whole entire time. I've said from
And we
day
haven't, we
one.
didn't tear one house.
But what I'm
We've
saying
been
is,
doing better
that
with
neighbor has no right to go on their property. Correct?
You're
Right or
correct,
wrong?
You're correct.
So they can't go over there and look and peep and say, we know water's going, you have no idea unless you broke the law and went on their property and peeped.
We're not talking about vacant houses that are going through probate and they sit vacant for 3 years. That's not the houses we're talking about. We're talking houses that have been vacant for 10 years.
But again,
You know
you're
what I'm saying?
splitting hairs because once the legislation is put in, like everything else, you're gonna put
Well-
a cap on it at 20 years?
Yeah,
That if
but
it
that's
sits
why we
vacant for
have to
20
look
years?
at
Maybe,
other-
maybe that's what it will say, that if a house sits
Get
vacant
the-
for 10 years, then
Let
something's
him
gonna be
get
done.
the ordinances
Yeah.
for everybody to look at and we'll go from
Cause
there.
I'm sure the
Fair
other
enough.
cities have
Alright.
the same questions.
The people live here for a reason. I don't live in other cities. If you wanna live in Poland, then move to Poland.
So
You
those
wanna move to
vacant,
Canfield, move to Canfield.
those
You know what I
vacant
mean?
buildings
Are we
downtown
constantly trying to make
Yeah.
this place
with
somewhere
broken
else?
windows
I
and
think we got
bad
something
storefronts.
unique here.
Who
That
is
looks
it?
You know what I mean?
terrible.
I don't think that that's a friendly
There's nothing we
look
can do about that?
to
Yes,
businesses
there is.
trying to move here
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Businesses, I disagree.
Where the
But I
windows
sort
are
of
Section
busted out?
21 is and all the way down.
They got broken windows?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
boarded up.
Oh,
Who's,
it's really
who's that
dirty.
belong to?
I mean,
Judge, you don't
No,
think
broken
we,
windows.
I think
That's
there's-
it, just
I mean, I
him?
think
Yeah.
there's-
There's
owns
one
that
other
whole-
person on it.
He's the agent on the Ohio Secretary of State website. He's the agent for the junior land.
Then he should be cited with them windows. They should be repaired.
Right.
I mean,
But here's the thing,
That's
Ron,
the
we
bottom line.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but we always go back to putting more and more and more legislation on when we
He's
usually.
just talking about citing a business right
I
now.
understand, but
I'm
we
not
already
saying about
have,
passing
we
legislation. I'm
already have legislation in place if we enforce it.
Yeah, I'm talking about downtown where them windows are, that boarded up. I don't care who it belongs to.
I agree.
They should
A
be
boarded up
cited.
window, we can't cite you for a boarded up window.
Well, it's unsightly.
I thought we
Yeah.
had a, I thought we had
I
a.
mean-
It's unsightly. You can
That's
cite
true.
for that.
So, if I don't like the way it looks, I can cite them?
Well, that's,
I feel like
that
that's
is what you
unsightly.
have,
Well,
that's
that's
right,
right.
That's not what
correct?
it's supposed
That
to
is
look
part of
like.
your ordinance.
I think the ordinance is for like a fire emergency to secure the building. And in the long run, it has to be replaced. Cause I think we went through that, Bob and Terry Stock was here, right?
Yeah, I think better yet, we should come up, instead of like the ordinances like that, we should come up with a, like we have the downtown plan, like Poland has, you have to have your buildings a certain way.
Yeah.
We should come up with something like that downtown, and then they would have to adhere to that, and if they
Yes.
don't, then you'd have some.
And that's in our
to say-
comprehensive
It's
plan
almost,
also.
that's in,
Exactly.
yeah, that's in the plan, it's
Yeah.
almost, I don't wanna say like a homeowners association, but it's like a
Correct, yeah,
association
like a
for
business
downtown,
association, yeah.
yes, for the downtown where they
For the,
have to,
but it would be solely for that district,
yes, yes,
which we
Yeah.
kinda did discuss a little.
yes, yeah.
But we can,
Which makes
but we
sense.
can also
Yeah.
target districts too, with that plan
Yes,
as
yeah.
well. Like we could do the Fifth Street Plaza.
Yes,
Sure.
that was its whole
You know.
separate district.
But you, excuse me, you'd have to keep it business specific and just those
And-
business
just
areas.
so everything's
Yeah.
uniform
Right.
and decent, because let's face it, Poland does a nice job with that.
And
I think that that's a good idea.
Yeah, instead, yeah, and then that way, the empty businesses that are empty will have to upgrade the frontage and whatever
You would assume they're,
to comply with.
you would
with-
assume they'll be grandfathered in.
Well, yeah, no, I think eventually we would have to make
Legally.
all the businesses
They'll be
adhere to
grandfathered.
it, you know, eventually.
But I think with the rest of the stuff that Bob's, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, because I think once he sees, I'm sure the other cities have the same questions and the same comments and the same thing that we're talking about right now, so let's just look and see what those say, and
Yeah,
And
this
bring it
is,
and
this
discuss
is
it
for a
again.
committee
She
meeting
says,
instead of an
yeah.
actual council
That
meeting.
list is what she got.
I'll talk to her. All right, that it for new business. I'm sorry, I skipped the unfinished business. It was the last line on the list.
Yeah.
Is there any unfinished business?
I hadn't finished, I guess, but with that recycle bin, I did forward that to my friend Tom.
Okay.
I forwarded all that, and he was appreciative that was reached out and all that, so, just so he knew where we were at with all that.
So I even talked to Luke, he said there's different things coming down the pipeline, as you saw the email. But there's another question I wanted to follow up and ask him next time I saw him, because we have 5 bins out there.
Mhm.
Are we filling all 5? Could we move one of those to the location and set it down there?
Oh,
Because
then
then,
the cost, like,
yes,
like he was
because
saying,
it wouldn't
the
cost
cost.
them, we
Yeah.
would just
Right.
say, let's keep 4 here, let's move 1 there and see if that works too. So I wanna see, are we filling all 5 all the time, or is it something where we can
Okay,
help them out there?
Well, plus other businesses down there could use it as well.
I just know that, like, I mean, he was just stating that they did use it all the
Yeah.
time, and of course, I'm sure you know, they do a lot of
Oh,
business
yeah.
down there, so they probably have a lot of cardboard and a lot of plastics and,
Yeah.
So, but I did send him all that information that you had forwarded to me, so.
And Lou Vega is with the green team, he works very well with our city. He's the one that helped us with getting the toters for the recycling and all that research and data and everything. So he's been very good to us. So I think if there's a way to get it done, he
You
will
can make
figure
it
it out.
happen.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that it for unfinished business. Our law director's not here, our auditor's not here, report of our safety director, Bob.
Yeah, Bob don't wanna say nothing, I start arguments.
Let's hear what you got.
I won't say argument. I started heated conversation.
Discussion. We like those discussions.
That's right.
Yeah, me and Dallas.
I still
Bob,
like
do you have anything
I
else?
disagree with it, but I still like them.
Yeah, I might not own a building, but I got assets, so I don't know where they're coming from, but.
At no point will I shy away from or dislike anyone over a heated conversation. I enjoy it.
Do you have anything else?
No, I don't, no.
Any other questions for our safety director? Okay, after the addressing of council, we'll have 2 speakers, right? Is he here, Broderick?
Yes,
Okay, he's gonna be here, and then the,
I'm assuming he's here now.
okay, and then the Unleash, Struthers Dog Park people are gonna be here giving the same presentation
Yeah,
too.
and as far as I understand, when I spoke with Chris, it's just an informational thing.
Okay,
So
okay.
we have no plans or nothing that we've talked about
Okay.
besides for him and just coming and
So
presenting.
they will speak after we have addressing the anyone.
And how much you're on?
Okay, that's it. Motion to adjourn caucus.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Okay, Ron.